Hey guys, welcome back for another episode of The Suited Shootist, and this one I'm going to try and keep a little bit more brief. The last couple episodes have been a little bit longer, a little bit more info dense, so I want to mix it up just a little bit. I've got a hot weather style tip for you, along with a personal safety consideration that just sort of reoccurred to me after some experiences in the last week. So first off, hot weather style tip. If you haven't explored it yet, seersucker is a great option. The weave on the fabric is such that since it's got some texture, it doesn't just sit on your body. There's room for airflow. So definitely check it out. Plus, it kind of looks cool. The security piece. I'm still digesting all the information from the Rangemaster instructor class, and I cannot speak highly enough of it. I know I say that about a lot of classes, but I think that's partially because I'm fairly particular about who I choose to spend my training money with at this point. But sincerely, you owe it to yourself to train with Tom Givens as soon as possible. So, but I'm going to do a full class review on it. One thing that really struck me was some of the examples that got used in that class of criminal violence. The assaults themselves weren't particularly surprising because, again, I've taken Armed Parent and Guardian, I've taken Unthinkable, I've taken other classes that discuss it, so the concept isn't particularly foreign, but it was the nature of some of the assaults that really caught my attention, and it brought back a couple of considerations. And really the big piece of it is you never know, and I've said this before, like, you never know who's watching, you never know who's listening. And just the idea of being diligent and being vigilant about who has access to what information. And I'm going to give you two, seemingly innocuous examples. My late mentor, Dave, before he passed, he had shared that I forget the exact nature of it, but there was some work that had to get done on his house. And, they were bringing in various subcontractors, and being in federal law enforcement, he pinged on the fact that a couple of the subcontractors he noticed had MS-13 gang tattoos. Thankfully, there was nothing really severe that came out of that, aside from a little bit of missing jewelry. But, it's one of those things. We have people that come in and out of secure locations with some degree of frequency, whether that be technicians, contractors, what have you. And so, and if they're coming into our home, we're not necessarily going to as diligent about cues and tells in our home as we would be out in the world. The other one was quite literally just the other day. I was doing a curbside grocery pickup, and I'm there, waiting for the dude to bring my stuff out to the car, and I'm listening to the Lee Weems podcast where he's talking with Dave Spalding. Great episode, by the way. Definitely go check it out. And so, dude comes out, checks me in, opens the tailgate of the vehicle, starts loading everything in, and my radio is, blasting a discussion on trigger management. Theoretically, if this is somebody who had an ill intent, they're an employee of the store, so ostensibly they have access to the curbside records, so they've got my address, and they know that I am at least somewhat interested in firearms. So, it might be paranoia to a degree, but the tells go beyond just the physical. It goes beyond the superficial crap of, clips on pockets and 511 pants and all this other stuff. There is a lot that goes into this. Being intentional and being vigilant about who has access to what information can sometimes be a deciding factor. Now, in the instances that I shared, at least thus far, no harm, no foul. But driving home, I had that realization of, that guy knows a little bit more about me than I'm comfortable with. So the entire point of stuff like this is I want to hold out experiences that I've had to make the learning curve shorter and easier for other people. I'm not doing this for, hey, check out how cool I am. It's like, hey, look how I fucked up. Don't do this. And I hope that comes across, because it's little things like that can sometimes be deciding factors. And so I'd love to hear if anybody has stories that they care to share down in the comments, please do. Other than that, I also want to hear from you guys. I still have a couple of kind of mini series content-wise coming up that I'm working on. The editing and the actual compilation is taking a little longer than I would have liked, so I apologize for that. But is there anything in particular that y'all would like to see me touch on? We do have some great conversations going in the Patreon as well. I've got a link to that down in the comments, as well as the Amazon store if you want to find ways to support the channel. Other than that, I hope everybody has a fantastic week. Stay dangerous and stay sharp.